Hey everybody, welcome back to TRUtalk. My name is Mr. Pure Instinct, or MPI for short. You may notice we have 3 guests this week. Mallet was feeling a little bit under the weather, unfortunately, so we gave her the night off. We said, feel better, I guess we like you, you're our friend or whatever. So instead, we had Raab at the last minute decide to hop in and help us out like a fantastic human. Raab, thank you so much for jumping in at the last minute and helping us.
Yeah.
And then we also have another returning guest. We've got TheBritishAvenger. How's it going, man? How are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm good, dude. Good. Glad to have you back on the show. It's good to see you.
Glad to be here.
And if I'm not mistaken, we've got, for the first time ever, CR4ZYeyes, who is also the one of the hosts of the TRUfam show, After Dark.
Yeah, so I'm the only one here who hasn't been on the show before?
Yeah, no pressure, buddy. No pressure.
I'm going to get voted off.
Yep, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. But yeah, guys, all of you, thanks so much for joining me. We're going to start off with CR4ZYeyes, and we're going to give him the interrogation questions. I'm bringing him back because people loved him, and now he's the only one that hasn't been on the show, so we got to give him to him, right? All right. They're easy, I promise.
I didn't study.
Oh, well, maybe they're not going to be so easy. So just to start it off, man, can you give me a brief overview of like who you are as a streamer, what your channel's about, and just how you got started on Twitch?
All right. So I don't know if you know by this. I'm a big golfer. I play a lot of golf video games. I started streaming with Everybody's Golf on the PlayStation 4. I noticed that for probably a good reason, almost nobody streams that game. So I found a very small community, but the guy is in UK, one of the main streamers for it. And I'm like, well, he's got this whole, there's this whole chunk during the day in the colonies where he's not streaming. So that's really why I started on PS4 back in January with just the headset. I was streaming right from the PS4, so I had nothing fancy. My wife in February turned me on to TRUgaming, and they really helped me step up my game. And now, unfortunately, I'm on your show because of all of that.
Well, great. Thanks a lot, wife. We really appreciate it. Yeah, it's her fault. We'll blame your wife on that for all of this that's about to happen. So, what is then the story behind the username other than you just have some crazy eyes?
Since 10th grade, which is when Mr. Deeds came out, people started there was just these kids in my class who just call me Crazy Eyes. I'm like, hey, Crazy Eyes. So I'm the Steve Buscemi of the group, I guess. So it just stuck, and I got my first Xbox. It was a 360. It was the Halo 3 version of the Xbox.
Oh, yes.
360. Whenever that came out, I want to say 2007.
Yep.
And I just took crazy. Somebody had regular Crazy Eyes, so now I was CR4ZYeyes. And then on Twitch, somebody had CR4ZYeyes, so now I'm the real CR4ZYeyes. So I don't know.
So, man, those like username overlaps are such a pain in the butt. Like, I see all these new platforms pop up that I could not care less about. TikTok, being one of them. I haven't done that yet, but every other one that has popped up, I'm like, gotta secure the name. I'll never use it, but I secured the name, but I'll never touch it again.
I somehow got the name on Nintendo just last week when they released Mario.
Oh, nice.
When they released the Mario Kart game then I promptly uninstalled the game.
And then I was done with it. Oh, the mobile one?
Yeah.
God, yeah, that game was something, I guess.
Yeah,
it sure
it's a mobile
exists.
game, so
Yeah, I know. Isn't there a subscription to it?
Yeah, there is a subscription base to get the 200cc difficulty, like cups and cosmetics. Otherwise, no, it's free.
I think that was what made me go, I'm not even going to play the free part.
Yeah. I'm so bad. I'm playing on like negative 50cc, where the enemy, AI is driving in reverse, so I get an automatic win.
Yeah,
Still struggling.
They're all going the wrong way the whole time.
They're trying to win Ready Player One, so.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, I think I'd rather win that anyway. So then, what is it that keeps you motivated to stream, and what do you love about streaming? Why do you keep doing it all the time?
I'm just in it for fun, and I'm not looking to make a big name for myself. I like the community. TRUgaming is everybody is just so nice and funny and friendly. Um, I got affiliate pretty quick. So like, yeah, it's nice to get a couple extra bucks like every 3-4 months. Just get that, get that money right in the PayPal. But that's really not why I'm doing it. I'm just having a grand old time. And really, I'm only streaming 1 day a week, and then I'm hosting the other show 1 day a week, and that's it. I mean, I don't have a huge Twitch presence. So, but I watch a lot of people. I watch you. I'll watch Velok. I'll watch Brit. I'll watch a bunch of people.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's not a bad reason to do it at all. That's the perfect reason to do it if that's what you want to do, my man. Well, cool. Let's throw it to British Avenger. You've been on the show before, so I will spare you the interrogation questions. But give us a reminder of who you are, what you stream, and what you're all about.
Well, I'm the British Avenger, and now I stream Destiny 2 and Rainbow Six Siege. And mostly my streams are just chill streams. You can just hang out and, even talk or just lurk. And probably the reason I got into streaming was just to meet new people, make new friends, basically.
Awesome. Are you just diving into Destiny for the first time, or are you picking up
So,
where you left off kind of thing?
I've been kind of like in and out with Destiny.
Okay.
I played a lot with D1, and of course, I'm getting back into Destiny 1, but I never could stream it.
Okay.
But now I changed some settings, and I can now.
Cool. Well, awesome, man. It's nice to throw in a new game every now and then. I kind of go back to Destiny when like the expansions drop, and I'm like, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna raid, and I'm like, cool. I finished the expansion. What do I do now? And then I move on to something else because I get bored. I have a very very short attention span. So, Rab, we'll throw it to you then. Again, thanks for hopping on like 5 minutes before the show started when I asked you. You were just on not long ago, but still go ahead and give us a brief overview of who you are, a reminder of what you're all about, and why you're on Twitch.
Well, I mean, if people watch the True streams, they haven't seen me at all. I haven't been on every show in the last week and a half.
No, never.
But it's I had no problem coming on. I'm glad I can. Thanks for asking me. But yeah, I'm RaabTDK. I am your neighborhood space nerd, your friendly neighborhood space nerd, and I do nothing but space streams. So if it's a game that's space related, generally more toward the realistic side than the not so much. Not going to be doing big alien games, but more going to be doing games that are like Kerbal Space Program or colony-based games that I can actually talk about the science behind space flight. And then I do live launch streams. So if any U.S. or pretty much anybody other than Russia or China are launching a rocket, if I have a stream to stream, then I put it on mine and explain what's going on and answer questions about space because I'm just super passionate about space travel and space flight.
Cool. Those the launch streams are super cool too. It's really interesting to watch, and then you kind of break it down to not space nerd terms so that I can figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah, that's the big fun part of it, the passion that kind of came out of it, and that's kind of why I started streaming, because I had some friends that were like, I think it's cool, but I don't know what's going on, so I don't watch it. And and I just kind of asked, well, if somebody was explaining it to you like you weren't you didn't have a PhD in physics, would you be interested? And they said, heck yeah. And all my launch streams are super successful because people like to come in and they know that they can ask a silly question and it's not a big deal. There's no dumb questions in my stream. There literally are no dumb questions in my stream.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the best part about things like that, because sometimes things like that could be so overwhelming to ask questions, because a lot of people there are very knowledgeable about that topic. So then you ask a question and somebody's like, God, this guy's an idiot. And it's like, okay, cool. Guess I'll never learn. Thanks. Now I just feel bad about myself.
Yeah, and well, I mean, the SpaceX stream on YouTube, their main stream, they turn chat off for probably obvious reasons.
Probably think that's a good idea.
I'm not going to name the company because I'm not going to do that, but there's a major rocket company that did not do that.
Ooh.
One of their last major streams.
I feel like that didn't
go
well.
It just turned into a flat Earth palooza is basically what it was. And they did end up shutting this chat down midstream, which is never a good look for a company.
Ugh.
So, but anyway, the point there is that's why I like doing what I do because I can explain it. I'm not overwhelmed. There's some awesome streamers on YouTube, but they have 30,000 people watching them. And their chat moves so fast that you have to super chat. You have to spend $10 or $15 for them even to see your question. And that's why I love kind of the power of Twitch, because you can come to my stream and I maybe will have 30 viewers during a launch. I'm gonna see your question. I'm gonna get to it.
Right. Makes sense.
Like that. But I gotta. You hold on. You're saying the Earth is not flat.
Absolutely, positively not.
He's over here like, man, my whole life is a lie. I gotta go.
I'm in the decahedron Earth fandom, so it's
Decahedron Earth. Okay.
you know,
I,
it's a
that's at least
10-sided polygon.
closer to reality.
Explain waterfalls. There you go.
Good luck.
Yeah, that must be the edge of the decahedron. I got you.
That's
Right,
the
that's
only
yeah.
possibility.
Everybody knows there's only 10 waterfalls in the Earth, so it's like, all right, there you go.
That's it. And they're all on the same plane too.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. This has already gone off the rails.
I
I'm so
brought
sorry.
the wrong people on this show. So, guys, we've got some topics to talk about, but the first one that I want to talk about just made me laugh really hard because it seems like something out of a cartoon or a sitcom, and I can't get over it. So apparently, a man broke into Valve's offices. This is in June of 2018, mind you, and stole $40,000 worth of equipment and games.
So 2 video cards.
He stole Half-Life 3. Can confirm.
Yeah, that's it.
He is
That's
the
why it never
reason.
came out.
He is the reason that it won't come out. You can thank this man. So apparently he did it with a recycling bin. So he went in full on faking to be like a janitor or someone with a recycling bin, and just walks in and loads it up and walks out. How is this not the most sitcom or like bank heist movie that you've ever heard?
You said this happened in June of 2018.
Also, yeah, why are we just talking about this now? It happened in
How
June
are
of
we just hearing
Did they
about
2018.
just
it?
catch him?
Yeah, they just found out. They're like, I don't think he was recycling anything. That guy just stole stuff.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Wait, why are we recycling this brand new graphics card? I need that. No, you got to recycle it, sir.
Remember that guy that only worked one day?
Yeah.
I
Even
can just,
do you think we sent him a paycheck?
I can just see it. I can see it be like, hey, Bob, didn't we have a whole stack of brand new graphics cards in that room in there?
Yeah.
Whatever happened?
He's back there. He's like, wait. Where's the Half-Life 3 disc? Who moved it this time? Who moved it? And it's somebody, oh, then we recycle that because we gave up on that project? Oh, God. Dude's at his house like,
Wait, so did somebody steal Half-Life 2.5.5?
yes. Yeah, we can't count to 3. It's 2.5.5.
It's just gonna keep going in a half and a half and a half and a half.
Yeah. Apparently, though, where he broke into also houses offices for Unity, Epic Games, Pokemon Company, and Samsung.
Oh, he's got Fortnite too.
Oh,
Yeah, he stole Save the World. That's why they gave up. That's why they gave up on it. Not because the battle royale was wildly popular.
Right?
and maybe it's just it was so bad that they decided that it needed to be eliminated from the earth, and that's why we've never seen it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Has an unreleased default skin in his account that he can use.
Yeah.
It's worth the most.
I'm also like really curious about what he stole exactly.
Right.
Because later on in the article, it says that there's a GameStop security footage of him selling stolen games. So what do? Just steal like a stack of old Portal 2s and he's like, I'll make $7 off these 8 million copies.
Yeah, right?
Like, that sounds like a great use of your time and stealing.
What's the newest game that Valve has made?
That you can steal.
Like what, 6 years ago it came out?
The last one that I know, they made a card game that failed miserably. That was the one that a while ago, if you remember, people were streaming movies and pornography and the like first-person footage of an actual shooting happening on Twitch over
Oh,
Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend or something like that. It was a long weekend, so they're like, people won't be around to ban it, and then it stayed up for way longer than it should have. That was the directory they were using. Was that terrible Valve card game?
Yeah.
That was it Dota, the card game, or something? Dota Architect or something like that?
I think it was Architect. Yeah.
Yes, between that and Diablo for phone, I don't know what got the worst reception.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like Diablo for phone got the worst, like, outward because everybody was very upset about it. But Artifact did not do well. So the last game that I can see that they released that you could have physically stolen is Portal 2. Unless they had, like, other games there, maybe. Like, people maybe, like,
that's
had
definitely
personal
possible.
games that they were playing on, like, lunch breaks and things like that. I'm sure they had, like, a break room full of consoles and stuff that people could play.
Okay, or we could break this down just a little, and I'm trying to use the analytical, scientific part of my brain here.
Okay,
So
all
it
right,
wasn't like
all right.
it wasn't like it was Valve's main offices, right? It was just one of their satellite offices, right?
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Oh, so maybe it was satellites.
So, well, no, what I think it is I think they
Satellite the
probably
game.
were promotional materials. So probably copies of games that Steam has available on the Steam platform that the developer has given them to give away at Valve and Steam events and cons and things like that. So I'm guessing that that's probably the guy got into their promotional like locker and took a ton of shit and nobody noticed because they don't keep that well track of it because if you know anything about
Whatever.
that business, the promotional closet's like I grabbed whatever because Billy from whatever other developer came by and we had to give him something.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that could be it, too. That would make sense. Like, maybe a
could have
mixture
been
of
a
that.
lot of peripherals too, controllers, things
Yeah,
like
it
that.
says equipment and games. How many Steam
Just
links
stuff
do
they
you
don't
think he
keep track
stole?
of, yeah.
I feel like he stole a lot of Steam links, and that's why we could buy them for $1 because they were
Dude
just
made a
kind of like,
killing on
well,
G2A.
yeah,
He took a truckload and they knew he was gonna just saturate the market.
yep. They were like, you know what? Well, let's show that guy and lose money. We'll take a hit as a giant middle finger to that dude. Get wrecked.
Vlad says he was like totes lurking like Schmeagol.
Oh boy. Well, this guy stole some interesting things. Apparently, I wish they had a list of everything he stole because I'd be so curious to see what it was. But
Right.
I don't think they want to say that because it says they don't know if there were any like company secrets stolen. So there could have been some, but I feel like if there were, that would like immediately end up online. Like that guy would have so much Reddit gold.
Oh yeah.
He wouldn't have
Maybe
any.
platinum,
Wouldn't have any real money, but he'd have some. Yeah,
No,
some Reddit platinum. 54,000
He would-
upvotes or something.
He would have all the internet points.
Yeah, exactly. He would be the most popular man on the internet for 25 minutes.
Imagine a dude walking into your GameStop with just a shopping cart full of unopened crap. Like, I'd like to sell. It's totally not stolen.
Yeah, I'd like to oh wait, I didn't steal it. I want to sell it.
14 grandmothers, they all buy me video game stuff for my birthday.
I think the stuff will be for event because there's a link in the article to a video about him stealing FedEx truck. So like
Oh yeah.
it probably is for event they might have had in that month.
Oh
It might
yeah,
not
it
be
could have
decent
been.
stuff.
Yeah, it could have just been like if they were going to a con or something, and they were like,
Yeah.
"We have all this crap."
Yep.
That makes sense.
He had a bunch of warrants.
Yeah, that guy. You know what? I'll give it to him that he recreated an entire film. I'll give him that one, I guess. Oh man! All right. Well, Valve, we're sorry your stuff got stolen over a year and a half ago, and we just found out about it. So let's move to a different game that is only one game that will probably cost just as much as all the stuff that guy stole to run. And that's Jedi Fallen Order. Have you guys seen the system requirements for this?
Yeah.
yeah.
So minimum's not bad. Minimum, most people can probably run it.
can't.
It's an i3 3220, which is old. 8 gigs of RAM, pretty average, I think. HD 7750 Radeon Aura GTX 650, as well as 55 gigs of hard drive space. That's a lot smaller than I thought it would be for all of this. So the recommended specs don't really throw me that much. For the most part, it's a Ryzen 7 1700, an i7 6700K if you're Intel, Vega 56 or a 1070, not too bad. 32 gigs of RAM.
Wow.
Yeah, it's,
you what?
You know what? It's the menu in the game probably just is Chromium. It probably runs on Chrome, so that's why it needs so much.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's mostly going to direct you to a store for microtransactions anyway, so it's got to be a web browser. Get it, EA?
Ouch.
Get it? We hate you.
Yeah, we do.
But so I've been reading the article and looking through it and everything, and there are games that came out this year that are not even topping out at like 16 gigs. Like they're saying you need 16 gigs for ultra, like just over the top, as great as it can possibly be. Where this game's like, I don't know, if you want to run it at what we think you should, at least 32 gigs. You know, if you want to do ultra, you probably just, I don't know, 120. you guys got that in? You guys got that spare, right? You just laying around.
I mean, they didn't even go to 24. They went right from 16 to 32.
So, do you think this is gonna start to be where things are going, or is this just some weird off-the-wall thing that has happened with this game?
I don't know. I mean, as games get more, they get bigger, more and more polygons, more and more polygons. Are they even still called that anymore? More and more things need to get loaded into the game. The environments get larger. The detail gets greater. It's going to take more and more memory. But in 5 years, 32 gigs will be much more normal. 32 will be what 16 is today. 16 is a normal amount. 8 is like the border of like, you should probably get some more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really surprised that with these specs it's recommending, it's not like, 128-bit Windows 10. Like, just get, like, it doesn't exist, but do it. 2 Windows 10 on SLI, and there you go.
You just plug 2 PCs into each other and
So-
run it.
I think that eventually we're going to get there. Crazy's right. I mean, the curve is headed that way, and we're going to get there. But I'm looking at some of these other requirements. It wants an i7 6700K for recommended for an i7.
Do I even have that?
I don't.
My new computer build that I have like on paper that I'm going to build probably December, January, that is like the top of what I think I need, doesn't have an i7 in it. So I think that this might be a little bit of PR going on.
Maybe.
Yeah.
With them saying our game's going to be so incredible that if you want to see what it really looks like in 4K, you have to have all this crap.
Yeah, and
But
I mean,
it's going to run off this, smaller 8 gig profile here.
right.
My current PC will run this.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting to me how much of a jump you have from minimum to recommended there. Because you go from an i3 3200 or whatever it said, which is what? We're on the 99s at this point. So
That's
we're
a business machine.
Yeah, that's like
right.
6 years ago, 7 years ago on a processor. And then the next one, the recommended it jumps to is like 2 years ago. That's a big jump, man. And I mean, I know recommended is what they're like, this is what we ran it on, so it would be perfect.
Yeah.
And you can run it much lower than that, clearly, with the minimum specs. It's just, it's such a big jump. That's like, what are they expecting out of this game?
The jump also makes me wonder if they've got some optimization problems.
Yes,
back end.
I was wondering the same thing.
That they can't resolve.
But who
And
is
being EA? That's not like that's out of the realm of possibility.
who's actually developing this? EA is not. Oh, apparently they did send a notification that it has been reduced to 16 for the recommended. So I'm wondering if somebody was just like, let's just tell them it's going to be real big.
Yeah, right.
Let's just
We'll say 16.
let's just go.
Well-
Let's just shoot for the moon, man. Whatever.
It's a heck of a PR move because it's got us talking.
I was
about
gonna
it.
say it gets people talking about it.
Right. Well, I mean, think about the personal satisfaction of reaching that goal of 32 gigabytes, of finally working hard to unlock that 32nd gigabyte to run the game.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
so it gives you a sense of pride and accomplishment.
yeah, unless you're like just one of those guys that downloads a bunch of RAM and thinks that they're special.
Hey, you hands off my downloadmoreram.com. All right?
Please don't do that. We do not endorse that here.
I feel like when they say like 32, then they went, oh wait, if we pull it too high, then people can't give us more money.
Yeah, or they see people going, "Oh, well, I can't run that. I'm skipping this
Yeah.
one."
Oh, I can't run that, so I'm not gonna buy the game. Then if they lower it down to 16, of course people are gonna buy the game, they're gonna buy in-game content and give EA more money.
It's true. We all know that that's
Yep.
their entire business model. It's fine, whatever. It's not what I would do, but it's what they do.
Yeah, I want to hate on EA all day, but I'm really looking forward to this game, and I hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I-
please,
Same.
please don't let it suck.
I just hope you can run it
Well,
Right.
because at
I'm
this
building
point
the
we
PC
don't know.
anyway, so
Well, it looks like you're gonna have to upgrade your unbuilt PC. So
Yep.
yeah.
Sorry
Things
about
are
you.
getting dire if I have to I have to upgrade my paper PC. That is the next build. Oh crap! What's this? 32. Oh well, guess I got to save another month and a half.
So I think that I mean I agree with you guys. Obviously, we're gonna eventually get to that point. Technology moves forward. With technology moving forward, gaming moves forward. I think that's good. But how soon are we gonna make those jumps too fast? To where, like today, they came out and said you had to have 32 gigs, and people freaked out. Like the internet was in an uproar for about 5 minutes, and then something else happened, and they were in an uproar about that.
of course.
But they saw that and just went, I got to build a new PC right now.
I'd be hard pressed to find somebody who's built a $2,000 or $3,000 computer in the past year that doesn't already have 32 gigs of RAM in it. I mean, if you're building a PC that's even over 2,000, because 2,000 is a lot of money, but
Mm-hmm.
what are you mostly spending on? $600 video card, $400 processor, $400 motherboard. I mean, you still have $800 to work with, because I don't know how math works, and that's definitely not the number that's left after 2,000. But if you're putting that kind of money into a computer, I'm sure you're getting your random access memory is going to be much larger.
Oh yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
think that's not the issue, but I also feel there's a lot less people than do that than I think people think, because you get
Right.
there's minority and handful of people who are like, I built a $2,000 PC last year, I'm doing it again this year. And then you have the majority of people who are like, well, I bought this computer 5 years ago and it still turns on and works, and I'm running this bad boy into the ground.
Yep.
And you can see what that PC is based on those minimum specs. Those are the specs
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Because I built my PC that I'm on right now in 2011, so it's way
Yep.
on the older end.
Yikes.
And I finally had, well, when I built it, I said I'm gonna spend as much as I can in my budget at that time, which I think was like $1,400, $1,500, and I'm gonna build the most badass PC I can. So I am like, until it dies, I'm not gonna fix it until I start seeing games consistently come up that I can't play. And I finally had the first game happened this month with No Man's Sky, or last month with No Man's Sky.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think you'd be surprised with older PCs like that how long they will run if you put the money into it at the time to get like top of the line biggest baddest boy that's out there. that thing will run for a lot longer than people want to think, especially if you
Right.
either build it well or just take care of it well. Because I have a laptop from 2011 that has to be plugged in at all times, but it sure still runs, and it will still run games if you put them on there.
I feel like everyone knows, like, new games will be eventually like really high in like just the recommended for like having in your PC, but people just like be shocked to it and they're kind of gonna be mad about it because some people won't have good enough PCs. But to be honest, it's their own fault because everyone knows eventually new games are gonna be super heavy on requirements, and they should have paired for like I don't know, new GTA or new COD. Like, if they want that game, they should save up, be paired to like make a new PC or make the PC better in advance instead of waiting for that new game to be so powerful they can't even play it.
Right.
Yeah, and I think too what a lot of people should start doing that I don't feel like a lot of PC gamers do is go, oh great, I can't run this game at 1440p 120 frames per second,
Yeah.
but it runs just fine at 1080p, or it runs just
Yeah.
fine at 1440p, but it's only 30 frames per second. Get over it.
Yeah, I'm the
So-
type. Does it run? Does it run well enough for me to play? I'm good.
Yeah,
Can it run Doom? We're good.
yeah.
I looked
Can it
up,
run
so
Crysis?
it's
Probably not.
September of 2012 is when the i3-3220 came out. So, and also
7 years
in
ago.
this 2K19, gaming on an i3 is already like I feel bad. But this is a 7-year-old processor is the minimum requirement for this game, so you can run it.
Yeah.
On like an old Chromebook.
Yeah, and I have to imagine that anyone who built a PC during that time, if they are a gamer, they didn't go with the i3 at that time. They at
No way.
least went with the i5 or an i7.
Exactly. Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's as big of a deal as people made it out to be. We're going to get to the point where 32 gigs is eventually going to be the recommendation anyway.
Oh, everyone's drinking.
Yeah, everybody take a drink.
I'm all out.
We talk smack about EA. Got to take a drink.
Oh no, I'm already dead.
Yep.
Spin the EA roulette wheel.
Yeah, we're donezo. So it feels a little silly to be, that up in arms about it, but that's just me. And especially,
it didn't upset me. I was surprised. I guess I didn't want to finally see 32 gigs as the. As
I'm not
the
prepared.
recommended. Growing up, like I remember hanging out with my friend, like, oh my god, the Radeon is 128 megabytes. It has its own fan on it. Like we were losing our minds back in the day, and now we're up to like 45 gigabyte video cards, and it's just I don't know what's going on with my life.
I remember the NES, so
Yep.
Right.
Do you guys remember that episode of Friends where he gets the laptop and he's like, it's got 8 megabytes of storage and like 2 megabytes of RAM and all this stuff? And he's like, what are you gonna do with it? I don't know, games and stuff. That's what it makes me think of when people just start like throwing out old spec numbers like
Right.
that. It makes me laugh.
Chips challenge, and
Yeah.
reminds me of a friend I had, or my dad's friend that was really into IT, like the beginning stages of like computers. And he'd be like, "You kids don't know what it." There was a switch for every bit. You had to turn every bit on with a special switch.
punch card.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what we are to the Gen Z now. When we're like, you should know how it was when we had the NES and the Sega Genesis.
And what gets me about that is that's the same person that would hand his iPhone to me when I worked in sales and go, I didn't grow up with this stuff. Yeah, well, you were around when it was made. I wasn't even thought of yet, dude.
You made it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You're Bill Gates. You made it.
I mean, at least we're not the ones just using a single finger to stick,
You like punch your phone to type on it as hard as you can. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta burn on my mom for a minute because I told my
Ooh,
friends.
here we go.
So I work in the same company as my mom, and we have an IT department, but she refuses to use them. She comes to me. So she came to me with her new Garmin smartwatch, which why did you buy that? And goes, it won't work. And she's like, you looked at it this weekend and couldn't figure it out because I saw you for 5 seconds. I'm sorry, I couldn't figure it out in that 5 seconds. She hands me this Garmin smartwatch and goes, I've got you cornered now because you're at work. So when you have some time, look at it. And so I did. I looked at it thoroughly and walked back to her office 2 minutes later. And she said, you fixed it already? I said, no, you need to charge it. It's dead.
Man, that was a good use of company time and pay.
I'm like, I can't fix dead things.
Yeah. You need to plug it in. I'm not a necromancer for technology, Mom.
Pretty sure that wasn't the
That's
problem.
what your
but it
charger
was
is.
Dead.
I didn't put any oil in my car, and now it's not working.
Why car no go without gas? Parents, am I right?
Oh,
I mean, I don't tell my family that I work in IT for a living, so
They have no idea what I do. They think I'm still, jobless and living on the street.
my mom thinks it's like the most incredible thing that I can use a remote desktop to control her Surface Pro at home.
Yep.
And she's like, "Oh, the mouse is moving." All right, she's not that old, but
But she's still amazed by it.
she's old enough where is no matter what picture I would post on Facebook, the comment from her would just be "my handsome son."
Yes.
And it'll be all caps most of the time.
Yep.
Like that's how old my mother is. I hope that's a good age range that you got there. So
Yeah. So I think I've told this story on the podcast before, but I'm gonna tell it again anyway because it totally fits what we're talking about.
I'm new.
So my dad is on the older side, and he isn't obsessed with technology, but he tries to learn everything he can about technology. Like if he gets a new something or another, he's just like, I'm just gonna mess with it till I can't figure it out anymore. So I bought him a Chromecast for Christmas when it came out because he owned a Wii, and the Wii was how he watched Netflix. Because at the time, it was the cheapest way to watch Netflix. It was you bought that, an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a Blu-ray player. Xbox, PlayStation, Blu-ray player were $200 to $400. The Wii used at GameStop was like $150. He was like, well, that's the cheapest. That's what I'm going to do. So we bought that, and he watched it until they wouldn't update it anymore. And then he couldn't watch it anymore. So I was like, well, all he needs is Netflix. I'm going to buy him a Chromecast. This was the year the Chromecast came out. That was his Christmas present. Dude.
Oh, no.
Dude, I plugged it in, and I said, all right, so here's what you do. Open the app on your phone, find this little button up here, press it.
Whoa, phone?
Yeah, and then it goes, press on TV, because I named it, like, TV. I think I named it Living Room TV at the time, and I said, press that, now wait. And he presses it, and then it pops up the big red Netflix, and he goes, no. I was like, yeah. He goes, you're messing with me. You plugged something in and did it, didn't you? And I was like, no, that's just how it works. And I was like, I can explain to you how it works if you want, but I don't think you care. And he goes, that's really what did it? And I was like, yeah. He goes, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And he just like disconnected it and reconnected it a couple times just for fun. And then for the next, I swear, 8 months that I saw him, he's like, man, that Chromecast is so cool. He's like, I love it. Still has it and still uses it to this day. I swear he sits there sometimes. He's like, this is so cool. Like 5 years later, he's like, yeah, that's what's up.
I feel like your dad's like the Arthur Weasley of IT. He's like, tell me the exact function.
Yeah,
of the
he's like,
Chromecast."
this is really cool. I don't get it, but it's cool.
Yeah.
How the hell does this thing work? Don't care. Love it. But yeah, that's like his thing. Is he's like, the other thing that I found really funny is he is very, very involved at our local VFW and tries to like plan events to get people to come in. So he's done like trivia night, couples dances, singles dances, things like that, trying to get people in. So he makes flyers to hang up on the doors so people know like, oh, this Friday, we have trivia. So he discovered clip art and word art in Microsoft Word. Blew his freaking mind. Like he made the whole flyer in word art in different colors and different styles of the font, like like the like arching, the sideways, the slightly italicized,
the gradients,
yeah,
all of it.
He did. Each line was a different word art, and he was like, "I didn't know you could do this. This is so cool." He's like, it's like he thought he was a graphic designer, but he loved it.
Okay.
It's
Did
so
he have
funny.
to take like a day off work when he discovered emojis?
Oh, I don't think he's gotten that far yet.
My
think-
mom has figured out emojis, but not. She's still sending the crying one or the crying laughing one when it's like sad news.
Yeah, right. Or it's like, oh man, my dog died. LOL. Lots of love.
Lots of
No,
love.
mom, laugh out loud. Jeez, jerk.
So Britt, what about your older relatives? Do you have any fun stories?
I mean, it's only the usual, They come work things, and I come in, do it in like 1 second, then it's like, it's fixed.
And then they
Pretty
probably
much usual.
are they always just like, you're like a wizard or something?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, he's the wizard.
They're like, how do you
Are
do
you a
that?
wizard?
Like, how do you do this stuff? It's like, I don't know, you press the on button.
It's the error message says like what went wrong with it. You read it, and there you go.
Yeah, or like, I typed in my email. What do I do now? Well, what's the button on the screen say? Next.
So my father-in-law he's been doing IT for like 30 years. And so every once in I'll find myself explaining something to him, and he'll just hit me with the "Do not recite the dark magic to me." And I'm standing there. So yeah, I gotta make sure I don't try to give him an ELI 5 on things when I should know better.
Right. That's pretty good. So why don't we roll over to a topic and talk about younger folk? So the NHS, which does it tell me, Britt? What does that stand for? Because you sent me this article. The NHS.
So that is the hospital company. So that is the name of the hospital company in the UK.
Okay,
It's the National Health Service, I believe. Is that
that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Like National Health Service or Society or something like that.
We don't know anything about that in America.
Yeah, we just get sick and die. It's
But we're
great.
better.
Yeah.
Well, after they seize all our assets, go on.
Yeah, or you just skip that part. That's Michael. So they're opening the country's first specialist clinic to treat children and young adults who are addicted to playing computer games, such as these are the examples they give: Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Candy Crush. Interesting three. Mostly the interesting one at the end. So the staff will help people from the ages of 13 to 25 whose lives are being debilitated by spending countless hours playing games. So we saw this not long ago with WHO, where they said that no, there is a gaming disorder. You can be addicted to video games.
The WHO. You can call it who.
I can call it whatever I want. This is America. We just talked about that.
I was just like, the band The Who came out. Problem with-
Whatever. The band The Who decided this
Whoa.
because they can, I guess. So this isn't the first time this has come up, was my point, Rab. Last time I invite you on the show at the last minute. So what do you guys think about this being like a specialist clinic for this?
I think it's stupid. I really do.
Let's say Britt's probably got the best knowledge on this since it's, where he lives.
I find it funny. They start at 13 to 25 because they're worried about gang influence and making bad choices. It's do with the parents and the person. It's not do with the games at all whatsoever. And picking Candy Crush out of all the violent games you can, it's how is that gonna make impact on any sort of person in a bad way? I think the whole idea is dumb. It shouldn't be a thing at all.
I think that you're not going to find anybody under 25 playing Candy Crush. I'm with you on that, Max in chat.
I didn't
Show me
know
somebody
anyone
playing
still played Candy
under
Crush.
25.
That's what
I think
that's my
still
biggest
have it on my
takeaway.
phone.
It still makes
But
$800,000 a day.
That
Yeah, this is true.
You know what? I guess it makes sense. Old fogies don't like change.
No.
They figured that one out. They're not moving to a different game. Where I think
So,
I change mobile games once a day.
but
Have
here's
you
my overall thing on it is, I I think a specialty clinic might be a bit of a stretch, but the WHO has already, like you said, MPI has already come out and said that it is an issue, and gaming addiction is an actual problem, and it can be an actual like psychological condition that needs to be treated. And Japan has really had a problem with it, and they've really tackled it. I mean, they've got issues with kids that refuse to work or go to school or to leave their room. All they will do is play video games, and it's a whole segment of their youth that is kind of being lost. So yes, there's that. But I think that Britt is absolutely right that there's a line where it's like we're being a little silly. Just because your kid plays Call of Duty for 3 hours every night, did he get his homework done? Is he falling behind on other stuff? Like, is his life normal for an adolescent teenager? Then back off.
3 hours. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, I
That's
gotta-
insulting.
was
gotta
being
bump those up.
conservative.
Yeah, that's right. You got to bump those up. Those are rookie numbers. But the article does say like up to 12 hours a day. It doesn't give a minimum, and I'm actually trying to find a minimum, and I'm actually finding a lot of studies of what Candy Crush does to the brain. I'm guessing it's similar to the frying pan. This is your brain on drugs from the 80s, where they just smash an egg with a frying pan, and that's your brain. It's a behavioral addiction. It's a mental addiction. It's like gambling. It's not so much a physical addiction like drugs or cigarettes or alcohol, but we have Gamblers Anonymous. There's shopaholics. There's all these different behaviors can become addictive. I could definitely see how video games can be addicted. I love when little numbers pop up on the screen. It's my whole life, So I could definitely see that.
Yeah, and I mean it. Really, anything can be an addiction because of what it is. It's your way of escaping reality and not dealing with the problems in front of you. So instead of, dealing with not having your job, you go, okay, whatever, I'll play World of Warcraft all day. Or not dealing with your breakup. It depends. Everyone can be addicted to something different. I think the specialist clinic, especially for the things that they used, what we're seeing the problem with youth more is being loot boxes and gambling and things like that versus the amount of time played. Because no one is playing Candy Crush for 12 hours a day. I'm sure someone is, but it's not a regular thing. I could see Fortnite. I could see Call of Duty. I don't particularly see Candy Crush. Yeah, that was another one that I wanted to bring up kind of along with it. No, I'm keeping my ad blocker on. I hate to break it to you. I don't care about your ads on your website.
Sorry, myfox8.com.
Sorry, Eurogamer.net. There is a lawsuit against games, especially currently it's Epic Games and Fortnite, because it is quote-unquote very, very addictive. And their point in saying is that they designed that game to be this way. It is designed to be addictive and keep pulling you in and keep you there. I don't think so. Sure, people can get addicted to Fortnite just like they can World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, any video game. But I don't think that somebody sat down and went, you know what? Let's get kids addicted to Fortnite.
Yeah. I mean,
I can see them saying we want people playing it.
Right. I don't see the game itself doing anything particularly different than any other major video games right now. There's no loot boxes, so that whole aspect of it isn't even part of it. It felt good that first time I got that win, but it wasn't. I don't know. That's interesting. Obviously it holds no weight. They're not gonna be able to do it.
Oh yeah, no way. I don't see this going far because they already tried to do it in another case. It seems like with something similar, and people in the U.S. have tried to do it. This just happens to be in Canada. I don't see this going far, but it is very interesting that people are still trying to make that argument rather than. I don't know what the other argument is, other than they happen to
work with psychologists to make the game as addictive as possible.
Yeah,
So I wanna play the devil's advocate here just a little. because I agree that it's crap. But I wonder though if in 20 years we're not having the same conversations with excerpts from podcasts like this and news reports like ours. Like we look back on what they said about tobacco in the 50s. If they're like, oh, they didn't make it that way. There's no way. Oh, it's not that bad. It's da 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 da. I just kind of, I wonder. I really.
I mean, if they tapped into, if they actually work with psychologists, then yeah, I can actually see some credence to that. But I mean, at least with tobacco, alcohol, there's physically addictive components to those. Did they, if they actually worked with psychologists to figure out how to tap into that part of the brain for that specific dopamine release? Yeah, hitting trees with a pickaxe is fun as shit. It's a PG show, sorry. Is very fun, and but what mechanics does Fortnite have that other games don't, that makes Fortnite the culprit and not games as a whole? Because MMO has that grindy feel, like hitting a tree with a pickaxe. It has the third person and first person shooter elements that Destiny and other popular games have. So I mean, I don't see how Fortnite specifically would be, the problem, but I could maybe see other elements.
Hmm.
Why is WoW so addicted to people? Why was EverQuest back in the day so addictive to people? People lost their jobs. They played so much EverQuest and Neverwinter and all those types of games.
Second Life.
Second Life and Second Life, for when your character needs to be removed even further from reality.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, go ahead,
it's
British. I was about to ask what
really,
you thought.
it, it's so stupid because like they complain about like, of course, younger people getting addicted to these games, but like, if you look at like content creators, like the old content creators, like streamers, they've been playing games since they're a kid, and they're like, they're earning money, they're fine, they're normal, so like, why does it make a difference now? And I understand like maybe the gambling part of games is kind of like, okay, that's a bit like, dangerous for younger kids, but like if one of your kids like asks you, oh, can I have that game? Do your research, look up the game, see if it has any gambling in it. Do your research. I feel like people are just heading straight into like these things and not doing any research on it at all, and they're just not doing it right completely.
Oh, that's parenting.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's been going on since early Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
games. I mean,
Since
Yeah.
video games were around, since metal music was around.
since movies were around, right?
Yeah.
Well,
The
video
kids
games are
days.
always going to be the villain, man. And before it was video games, it was rock music.
Yeah, but yeah,
Well,
before
I
that
guess
it
rap
was
music.
like,
Before it
you
was
mean
rap
devil
music, it was
music.
rock
yeah.
music.
You mean
Before
if you
that, it
play
was
Kiss backwards, you
dance
summon
clubs.
you summon Satan.
It's always going to be. I wonder what it's going to be for our generation. If it's going to be like VR games or like the future of VR. If we're going to be like, oh, it's the devil or whatever.
I don't know. I think it'll just be the devil. I think the devil will just be the devil.
I think
finally got
we
to
can
that
all
point.
agree it's Epic Games' fault, and we'll just they
Yeah.
need to shut down.
Yeah.
So,
You know what? EA is the
Down.
devil.
yeah,
It was EA.
It's EA, Epic.
EA's
All
fault.
begin with E.
There it is. There it is, boys.
Checkmate.
You heard it here
Checkmate
first.
Atheists. So
So we've talked about this type of thing before when there was a point of it was a congressman, somebody in the US was like, you know what? I think we should ban all loot boxes. Loot boxes bad.
Yeah.
That to me makes more sense saying something was designed intentionally to be addictive because it is basically a slot machine on your phone. It makes bright lights, it spins around, it makes sounds when it pops out, and if it's good, it makes a better sound. If it's bad, it makes a worse sound.
it's literally a slot machine.
Yeah, so that is literally a slot machine. As someone who worked in a casino, that's a slot machine. They made one on a phone. But just saying playing the game in general is intentionally made to be addictive, I think that Fortnite is just the big name, and that was the one they attacked.
Of course.
Because they said
I agree.
that's what's going to get the most press.
Yep.
Because what would you do if they said, you know what? I think kids are addicted to Artifact. People would go, no, they're not, shut up. And that would be the end of the
What?
conversation. But
Right.
Fortnite, everybody knows what Fortnite is. So I think Fortnite got the short end of the stick in that one and being attacked by that. But they also make what, like $3 billion? Get over it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
care
they
that you
want
got the
some
short
of
end of that.
money.
Yeah.
My kid doesn't talk to me, and I want money.
Yeah.
So
Eh,
he took my credit card, bought 55 skins.
He
I want
has
it back.
5 billion V-Bucks.
yeah, none of that was parenting failure.
Right?
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think that you can always blame literally everything on a parent.
Oh no, of
But you
course not.
can't blame everything on the video game either. There's a line where you have to go, yes, this game might be addictive to people because of X reason. But, okay, well, take the Xbox away.
Yeah.
Go outside.
My parents were great. They're both great people. I mean, look at me. It's like it's definitely not always the parents' fault.
Yeah, it's your wife's fault, remember?
Yeah,
We
well,
covered that at the
yeah,
beginning of the show.
We talked about it's a callback.
There you go. We threw that all the way back to the beginning. You're welcome, folks. That's how you run a
Going
podcast.
round robin.
I'm just waiting for a duck to get thrown in the room again.
I know. So I put them inside. They're in their cage in the garage, and I zipped it up. She could very well do that, but I think she went to bed early. So
All right.
yeah,
Good.
I know. She's known for throwing ducks at me. So
All right. Well, cool, guys. We're close to time. Does anybody have any other topics or anything they want to talk about tonight?
Was there the whole boot Destiny thing?
Oh, yeah. So I kind of just thought this was funny. Apparently, there's a company that makes boots. They make boots. That's all I know about them. And they're apparently
boot.
going to make a Destiny-themed boot. It kind of looks like an extra ugly Converse.
It's the ugliest thing
I'm
I've
gonna
ever seen.
I'm gonna put the link in chat for those of you watching live.
it's like the high tops from Back to the Future 2.
It looks like a
but
moon
worse.
boot.
It looks well. I mean, Moon's haunted, so good fit.
Does it have pockets on the side in that top part? These are cargo shorts of shoes.
I think
Dads
there's
are gonna
Velcro
love 'em.
tabs on them that serve no purpose.
Yeah, those are pretty rough. I guess if you're that hardcore into Destiny that you want Destiny 2 boots, there you go. That's where you can get them. I wouldn't recommend it, but I guess I'm not a fashionologist, so what do I know?
On the article, it says like normally their boot starts around about like $100, and of course having the like badges on it as well, it could be very pricey just for boots.
What do you guys want to
Yeah.
take bets at? I'm gonna bet $150 to $200.
I
Probably,
was
yeah.
gonna say 175 to 225.
The Fallout jacket was $273, so I'm gonna go $250 for the
Okay,
shoes.
$250. Britt, what do you
Yeah,
think?
or I should have gone $1. Damn it.
Ah,
This isn't the Price is Right.
I feel like it's either gonna be 170 or 270.
anywhere from there. All right, I can
I
see
mean,
it.
I can't get excited about them. They're not gonna fit me. They won't make my size. I have a size 15 foot, and
Good
they don't.
God,
Nothing
that's
is
a big
ever.
foot.
and I can't buy regular Converses. They don't make Chuck Taylors in my size, so I can never own a pair of Chuck Taylors.
That's really sad. I think we need to have a moment of silence for that.
I don't know.
Everybody press F to pay respects.
I don't know.
All right,
Chuck
that's
Taylors actually aren't that great of a shoe. They look nice, but that's about it.
Yeah, they're not comfortable. But
Yeah.
you should at least have experienced that.
Yeah,
himself.
you should experience being uncomfortable if I had to when I was an emo kid in high school.
Exactly.
Right?
It's bull. It's bull. All right, guys, let's do round robin. Crazy Eyes, since you were the only first appearance tonight, where can people find you? What should they know about you? What do you want the people to know?
Twitch.tv/TheRealCR4ZYeyes, The Real Crazy Eyes. You can find me just Wednesdays and Thursday nights there. I like to play a lot of golf, and I know more than anybody about that terrible television show, The Office, the U.S. version. Sorry, Brett. And that's it, really.
Cool. Do you have anything big coming up? Any events or anything like that? I always like to make sure people can plug those if they do.
No, nothing in particular. Just we just did that charity event, so now I'm just back to the usual schedule.
Yep. Yeah, and anybody who hasn't checked it out, the charity event raised, what was it, $2,120?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I
That's
think-
correct.
It's a lot of money, kids. It's a lot of money for the kids. Well, cool. Crazy Eyes, thanks for coming on, man. I'm glad we could get you on
Thanks for
here.
having
Don't forget, he also hosts the TRUfam After Dark show right here on the TRUgaming channel. Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, same time, right?
7:30 p.m. Eastern.
7:30 p.m. Eastern.
And it goes
He's
until
an early
whenever.
boy.
We don't really have a time frame.
They just kind of do it willy-nilly.
We had one show go 2 hours already, so. Yep.
Sheesh. Yeah, I don't have that long of an attention span.
I might want to condense it. Yeah, it's
Was
like
that,
it starts
was that
out with
the
a
show I was on?
yes. That our episode was 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It starts like it starts out a little slow. I got to work on that, but yeah.
Well, cool. Britt, what about you, man? Where can people find you? What should they know about you? And do you have any big events, anything cool coming up on the stream they should be checking out?
No events coming up. You can find me the British Avenger on Twitch and pretty much everything else besides Twitter. That is Avenger_Empire. And you only can spit, I guess, average gameplay with Destiny and Siege.
All right, cool. There you go.
You know, he said he doesn't have anything coming up, but he's on my show on Thursday. So I
Oh,
guess nothing
not anymore. He's
special,
not.
Right? Yeah, right.
Canceled that guest.
Let's get sick Mallet back in here.
Yeah. All right, Rab. You're the last one. What about you, man? Where can people find you? What do you got going
All
on?
right.
Anything coming up?
Yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/RaabTDK, and that's 2 A's, RaabTDK. And yeah, I stream space stuff usually Monday and Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. Central. And then live launch streams, which we have one tomorrow night.
Oh, fancy.
Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central, is a Northrop launch of Icon off of the Pegasus air-launched rocket. So they'll drop it from an aircraft. I've never seen one.
What?
It's going to be wild.
Hold on. So you're
yeah.
telling me they just drop it off of an aircraft and then it like shoots into the air?
Correct. They take it up to about 37,000 feet, drop it out of the belly of the plane, and then the rocket fires and goes.
It's
goes
how
to
baby
space.
rockets are made.
Yeah,
You get to
right?
see a live birth. Wow.
That feels
So-
counterproductive to me, but I'm also not a spaceologist like Rab, so I don't know.
I'm going to explain all about it tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central.
There you
so
go.
Come check it out. If you've never seen a live rocket launch, I've never seen one of these either. So it's going to be wild and crazy. I don't even know if the stream will work. All I know is that there's a link on my app for rocket stuff that says watch now. So
Cool. Well, hopefully it
we'll
goes
see.
well.
If that doesn't work, then we'll play Kerbal Space Program and crash things.
There you go. Crazy Eyes, you have a question.
Yes, I was always taught to raise my hand. Thank you.
Attaboy.
I have a question and a comment. The first question, Rab, what does the T, the D, and the K stand for in your name and in that order?
They are my initials, and for streamer safety, I'm not going to say them out loud.
Okay, so it's not the Dark Knight. Got it. And
It is
then,
not.
And
It
then
is not.
comment. Thank you again for having me on the show.
Yeah, anytime, man. I'm glad to have you on. Hopefully we can get you on again in the future. As always, guys, my name's Mr. Pure Instinct, or MPI for short, whichever you'd prefer. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at the same name. I stream currently Monday through Friday. We've got a little bit of a weird schedule going on. So if you are interested, follow me on Twitter to keep up with that. All October, we just play horror games, so that's the event that's going on right now. Call it the Horror-thon. We just finished Man of Medan, and we're about to start the second Amnesia game. What is it? A Machine for Pigs. So that should be fun. You can watch me get the crap scared out of me. But guys, as always, this podcast will be up tomorrow, which is Wednesday, on your favorite podcasting platform and YouTube if you would prefer to watch all of our beautiful faces live again, or just catch up on something you missed if you had to step away. Guys, we'll be back next Tuesday with the live show, and the show will be live tomorrow, which is Wednesday. We'll see you guys later. Thanks, everybody, again. Everybody have a great week. Bye-bye.